Look at this one. Utah schools routinely missing out on millions and millions of dollars in free money from the federal government.
It's money that can make your kids safer at school, but only 2% of Utah school districts or charter schools ever asked for the money.
Yeah, Chris Jones in our Beyond the Books unit. They've been looking into this for weeks now. And Chris, why didn't school districts apply for the money?
Well, in a nutshell, they didn't know about it. More than $70 million all up for grabs, and Utah schools who routinely go to taxpayers and ask for more money were totally in the dark about all this free cash. Is there something wrong? Tens of millions in federal cash. Did you apply for those grants? Money the government
We did not apply for those.
is handing out to help bolster security in America's schools. And our Beyond the Books investigation reveals schools across the country are aggressively grabbing those federal dollars. But in Utah, many districts don't even know the money exists. Your people weren't aware of them, right?
No.
Logan School District, for example, just spent tens of thousands of dollars on security upgrades at several schools. The money came out of their capital budget, but they could have saved $100,000 if they'd applied for and received one of those federal grants. Why do they not know about federal grants that you could access?
I'm not necessarily sure of the exact answer to that question. I know it takes some time to search through all of the different avenues.
But Logan isn't the only district who didn't search those avenues. In fact, we wrote an email to all 41 districts to find out if they knew about the federal grants. At the Alpine School District, they said they had no idea. At the Tintic School District, they said they didn't know about the grants until they read our email. The Salt Lake City School District, one of the largest in the state, was also in the dark.
Sometimes we don't know about some of them, and sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. The other thing
And
is,
why is that? Why would that be?
It really depends on where they come from and how well they're advertised.
So Beyond the Books looked into how districts learn about those grants.
Yes, we do share the information.
The Utah Department of Education says they always inform districts about possible money sources. Assistant State Superintendent Scott Jones.
Almost at every opportunity throughout the summer, it was announced that those are made available to the LEAs by the Department of Education.
But Beyond the Books has discovered that news about these federal grants have been well publicized. Federal grants were written up in national publications. There were press releases issued. They were even released on Twitter. How did you not know that these grants were available?
Administrators and school personnel are busy. And so to take the time to muddle through that, they just have used their time elsewhere.
Muddling through is what many Utah districts appear to be doing when it comes to security spending. In fact, the state says many schools are still lacking basic front door security upgrades. So that's still, in terms of security, still an issue in the state of Utah on a lot of levels, right?
Yes, where that's the case, definitely.
In fact, Scott Jones says the State Board of Education will push Utah lawmakers for millions to upgrade school security. But those federal grants could have taken that burden off of Utah taxpayers if needy districts had even bothered to apply. Why don't you just walk into those offices and say, guys, apply for these grants. You're behind. You need to catch up.
For me personally, to run into or go to a district and say, hey, you have to do this, I'd take a different approach.
But Utah's lax approach to chasing federal dollars is setting it back. Our investigation has discovered only 4 of 176 school districts and charter schools in Utah applied for those grants.
The grant was a total of $500,000.
Provo is the sole district to get any of those dollars last year. Gary Wilson with Provo says they'll use it to upgrade the locks in all their classrooms. Is it difficult to get them, I guess?
Not really.
Well, first, you have to know they exist. And with another round of multi-million-dollar grant awards coming, Beyond the Books has learned only 2 Utah districts and 1 police department have applied for any of that free money. And while the Board of Education tells districts about the grants, they don't feel obligated to make getting them a priority. What is going on? Why are we not trying to get these LEAs to do that?
It's not really our job to monitor, who's applying, how much they've applied for.
And Chris, just today, you got an update on this story.
Yeah, that's right. According to the Grand School District, they say that they've got $114,000 in money that they're going to use for security upgrades. They are the only school district in the state of Utah to get any of that money. Millions of other dollars going to states around the country. Also, we also understand that if if you have an issue, if you think that your school district should have applied for this money, you can go to that story, you can click on it, and you can get the phone number for your school district and your superintendent and let them know that you think that money should have been applied for. Also, if you've got a story that you think we should investigate, there's our information right there, guys.